Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is all of the foods I think you should stay away from when you have Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. And this is the second video where the first one is the foods that I recommend. So the last video of foods I recommend, they were very specific and I went into detail about them, and now that I'm looking at the list that I made for foods I don't recommend you eat, it's a bit more vague. So let's just get into it. So I recommend staying away from sugar. Obviously I love fruits and vegetables, and so when I mean sugar I mean all of the excess sugar you would not be eating within a healthy diet. I am also addressing specifically alcohol sugar. I don't know if you guys have seen those screenshots of the Amazon reviews for this particular like sugar-free gummy bear. I don't remember the name of the brand, but basically all of the reviews say that it gives you the shits. Say it loud, say it proud. And the reason is because it contains alcohol sugar, and that's great for people that, you know, are very sick and that need something as a laxative that's very forceful. But the thing is that alcohol sugar and just like high amounts of sugar in general really mess with your bacterial ecosystem within your stomach and can lead to unbelievable amounts of cramping. And really it's kind of like all of the symptoms it provides you is pretty negative when it comes to your stomach, where it will act as a laxative, it will mess with your gut, it will just make you sick for days. And so I try in general to stay away from like high amounts of sugar. That being said, I'm craving a brownie. The next thing that's pretty general is avoid spicy foods, but check yourself first. Spicy foods are bad for people that have Crohn's and ulcerative colitis is because they're spicy. So it increases your stomach acid, which is why people that don't have any gut issues might have heartburn. It's experienced by everyone. There was a study done where they took a bunch of people that had Crohn's and gave them a bunch of spicy food, and about like 40 to 50% agreed that their symptoms were much worse after eating the spicy food. With this said, check what spicy food does not work for you. For example, I'm originally from California. In California, the like Mexican Spanish food always had salsa verde, which is just green salsa. And then I went out to Colorado and did not know that what I ordered was not salsa verde, but rather green chili. And I died. And so just check yourself first. For example, I really don't do well with jalapenos, but I love kimchi so much. That's the Asian in me. I power through it, and it's just my thing. Whenever I go back home to San Francisco, I always get like a bucket of kimchi and I just eat it. Like I just put it on the side of every single dish. It's just something that I love so much. But I wish I could eat jalapenos. I just wish I could. So even though I love kimchi, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, but it also contains a food on my do not eat list other than it being spicy, which is cabbage. I don't care who you are, what you try to tell me how to cook my cabbage, I'm not gonna eat cabbage. And so that goes to any form of cabbage, but it also like spreads out into that family, like Brussels sprouts. Are you kidding me? So Brussels sprouts and cabbage, if you just look at it, like I feel like I've gotten pretty good at just looking at foods and knowing what I can eat and what I can't eat. The entire thing is essentially insoluble fiber, because if you look at it, it's very dense. It has like a very hard structure to it, and that's kind of the point of it. I mean, it does taste good because I've eaten it before. It adds like a crunch to a salad, but they're just too difficult to digest because the entire thing is an insoluble fiber. Asparagus, that when you hold it in your hand uncooked, it's very hard. You can like snap it and break it. It's very crunchy, But if you cook it, you can cook it to where it's very, very soft. It doesn't get rid of the fiber, but it just makes it a lot easier to digest. Whereas cabbage, you can't really do anything to make it easier to digest. When you're having a flare, you want to stay away from insoluble fibers versus soluble fibers, because insoluble, like cabbage, will really just maintain its form as you are digesting it. So do your best in chewing, but essentially it's going to go through your entire GI until it ends up in the bathroom. Next thing that is vague, but that's kind of the point of this video and channel, is just to personalize this Crohn's and ulcerative colitis and not have everything be so black and white. I recommend not eating an excess amount of dairy. So essentially what that means is that I will still eat dairy, but I will kind of like look at my day and realize, okay, if I'm going to have pizza for dinner, then I'm not going to have dairy for the whole day until I eat that pizza. It's not like I'm putting coffee creamer in my coffee and then I'm having like nachos for lunch and then, oh my god, nachos. And then like pizza for dinner. I definitely keep in check the amount of dairy that I'm eating. And I'm also actually trying to expand into like vegan cheese. I don't remember the name. I just know that it started with a D, Daia, something like that. Not a big fan. I felt like I was being lied to and deceived while I ate the pizza. But obviously there are a bunch of people that love it, and there are a bunch of people that are vegans or lactose intolerant that have found amazing substitutes. So if you can recommend any for me, please leave them in the comment section below. I don't think I would ever cut out dairy altogether. I might do it for a short amount of time, like maybe a month or so. And I do understand that it very much can upset your stomach, but it's just a refusal for me. I just can't do it. I do notice though that when I eat cheese with gluten, that's when my symptoms are like 5 times worse. So being paleo-ish, I have cut out all of my grains except, you know, I'll eat pizza. Like if, you know, like I try to be like 80 to 90% paleo and then leave the 10% for when I just want to live my life and I don't care about the repercussions. Just eat the pizza. Also, if you have had your ileum removed, your liver produces bile salt acids as a response when you start consuming a lot of fat. Not necessarily like avocado and coconut oil, but like cheese fat. As your body is digesting it, it's gonna tell your liver, hey, I'm gonna need some help breaking this down. Can you produce more salts for me? So the liver will produce more salts, help break down the dairy, except the ileum is supposed to reabsorb the bile acid salts, have it processed through your liver again, so it's ready to go the next time you eat. But I don't have an ileum, so that's no fun for me, because that means I just push those salts right on out as I go to the bathroom. And I realize that when I'm eating gluten and dairy, it's an absolute no-go for me. But if I also eat like a cube of cheese, like a Babel cheese, I had that for lunch with like carrots and crackers or something like that. And I was like, oh, I'm so healthy. I ate that Babel cheese and I died, okay? So just check yourself, register what you might experience, and don't experiment with food when you're at work and you have to go on for 8 hours without any symptoms. Last but not least is stay away from fried foods. So basically don't get takeout or like drive-through foods. With that said, I love Chick-fil-A. When you're on a pinch, you gotta eat something. And so like with that, obviously try to stay away from everything, but I don't think it's gonna kill you from eating it. I think that if you eat fried foods for a long period of time, like if you were having Chick-fil-A or McDonald's on a daily basis, that is where you really need to cut back. But having Chick-fil-A once a week, I do it. I think just not going overboard, or finding places where you can get good quality food, like a really good burger that isn't like drenched in oil and fats and isn't fried, and you know, like it's a good quality meal. And so I think when it comes to the no fried fast food, I think there's room for some leniency, and I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. When you go out to like Wendy's or something, maybe just get a grilled chicken sandwich versus like a burger or something like that. But if you've learned anything from this video, is that all of the tips I give you, I don't stick to. And that's because I don't think that your life should be crammed in a box. You obviously need to do what's best for you. So if that means being a vegan and just going all out with no meat, no dairy, just only eating like pure foods, I'm right there with you and I support you. But I also believe that if you were dying for a pizza and you know how your body is going to react for it, just prepare in advance, because you're gonna have this disease or diagnosis, whatever you want to call it, for the rest of your life. And I think having that leniency where, okay, I'm gonna go crazy and eat Chick-fil-A, okay, well then maybe I'll do a vegetable smoothie for dinner, or just find some balance. Find where you can give and take throughout your day, where you're happy with what you're eating, because that's the most important part, right? If you guys this video was all over the place. I don't know if it was helpful at all. If you guys have any comments that could be helpful to anyone else, please leave them in the comment section below. Remember, you are never alone, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Bye.